Hi everyone, and welcome back to Math with Mr. G. I'm here for my 4th grade students at Syracuse Academy of Citizenship, ready to go over another Zearn lesson for today. So today's Zearn lesson is Mission 6, Lesson 8. And I'm going to go over just what is on the plate for that, and then go over a couple of the example problems from this lesson so you guys can be prepared for this. So if you have a whiteboard or a marker or a pencil or paper, this is probably the time to grab that as I go over things and then go over the 2 example questions I have ready for us today. So you can see here we have lesson 8 today, ones, tenths, hundredths, oh my. And today we're using understanding of fraction equivalence to investigate decimal numbers on the place value chart expressed in different units. Of course, we have our fluency component, the number gym, and sprint. This is where we work on past work with addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, just to really make sure we have those math fluency skills. And then we have our learning lab. This is our guided practice. This is where we go over the new content for the day. And you'll have a number of videos to go over that will go over kind of how we use one-tenths and hundredths and convert them from decimals to fractions and understanding the place value and unit components of those things. And then, of course, we have our independent practice, the Tower of Power. Now, the Tower of Power is where we really test that new knowledge we have and how it connects to the old knowledge that we've built up to this point. If you get stuck on the Tower of Power, as always, it will help guide you to remind you of the things you learned, but if you really can't get past something, I highly suggest you go back into the learning lab, the guided practice here, and rewatch the videos. This here is built, the guided practice is built to support you and to help you through the Tower of Power. So that's a really good first step to making sure you complete these correctly. Now I'm going to go over 2 questions that will look very similar to what you're learning today. So you can see here, we have 3 ones and 2 tenths in unit form converting into tenths, and then 3 ones, 2 tenths converting into hundredths. So I'm going to put these answers over here on the side, and I will convert them in blue. So we have 3 ones, draw an equal sign here, 3 ones, and 2 tenths. Notice the TH there. So that tells me I have a decimal point and then a 2 here. Now, it wants to know how many tenths total this is. Very simply, if I just look at what I have here, 3, 2, you can almost imagine that's like a 32. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to say that I have 32 tenths. In the Zearn lesson, you're going to be dealing with place value disks, just like we did in our very first unit with place value. And that's going to really help illuminate or show you how we can find this answer. But the very simple trick is just to look at the decimal place, look at the unit we're looking at, the tenths, and then just kind of imagine that this is its own number as 32, and then tenths. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. I have 3 ones and 2 tenths. Again, I'm going to make my decimal place. But it's asking me for the hundredths. So I need to include something in the hundredths place here, but because there's nothing included in the unit form, I'm going to actually just put a 0 here. Because every place value to the right of this decimal, there's an imaginary 0. And if you ever need them, you can just put them in there. But we imagine that they're there right now, for instance. So I really have, from the hundredths place here, I really have 320 hundredths. Again with a TH. It's very interesting writing on this whiteboard. There. And I'm actually going to underline in red the place value that we're working with here, so you guys can see the difference when I screenshot this. So again, there is no exit ticket for today. The focus is going to be just on completing these Zearn lessons and using the strategies taught in the lessons and what I'm teaching here in these lessons, in these instructional videos, to help you complete that Tower of Power and then complete the work in its total. If you have any questions, as always, please just reach out either on Google Classroom or in Class Dojo, and we can be more than helpful with getting it done. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.